Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. And to get things going, I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you feel like being a lurker, you can just go ahead and lurk. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Happy to have you here. Ghost Valve is here. Hello, Ghost Valve. Happy to have you here as well. Welcome to this fine Monday evening working on Metalgarurumon from Digimon. This is a figurized kit, Bandai's line where they do stuff that is not Gunpla. Mjon is here. Hello, Mjon. We got a stellar crowd here already. Before we get really into the building and the hanging out, I do want to just point out that it is currently 37 subscribers here on the channel out of a possible 50 that I would love to get. 50 is possible. I mean, more than 50 is possible, but 50 is what I would like to hit. If you want to become a subscriber, now would be a great time to do that. If you want to gift a sub, you want to join the gift sub leaderboard, you could do that as well. Trying to get to 50. I shut up about numbers at 50, but you do you. Lord Crashington, hello. Welcome everybody. I am excited for tonight. It has been a busy Monday for me, and I'll talk a little bit about that right now. Let's go to the overhead camera. Here we go. Overhead camera. We've got our chest. It was pointed out to me that I had missed this piece, this light blue piece. I forgot to put on. And in my defense, I fucked up. But I noticed when someone was like, hey, I think you missed a piece. I did. So we put the chest piece there. And of course, we got the head of our Metalgarurumon. Garurumon. This is Metalgarurumon, I should say. Not my favorite Garurumon, but it's pretty good. And we are going to apply some more stickers to this kit as we continue to build it. So we'll put those there. We're continuing to work on the chest here, and we're getting the claws that are maybe not claws, but maybe are rocket like missile launchers on the shoulders there. It's no Garurumon. You're right. It isn't. And it's also not, what's the name of that one? I'm going to look it up because it's been added to my wish list. I noticed it was on Amazon and I added it to my wish list. It's a different Garurumon. Let me see the name of it. Here it is. Black War Greymon. Black War Greymon. This is no Black War Greymon. Which looks rad as hell. Black War Greymon. Black War Greymon looks dope as hell, except that like where his eyes are on his face looks really goofy, and he's got big like anime eyes. That's very silly, but the rest of him looks dope as shit. We have built War Greymon before, but we have not built Black War Greymon. Black War Greymon is a classic, indeed. But we built regular old Greymon. We haven't built Black Greymon. That's on my wish list. Look, I don't know a lot about Digimon. I just know what I like, which is cool model kits. I like building cool-ass model kits. So if presented with the option to build a cool-ass model kit, I'm going to build that cool-ass model kit. I dropped a sprue. Can I reach it without hurting myself? I can. I can reach it without hurting myself. Hooray. All right, this is B2, so I need that. I'm going to pull parts. B219 is this part here. Yeah, so let's get this going. We need some ass model kits. Hey, Tony. Hell yeah. I'm glad you love the Digimon. Well, welcome. Yes. Look, I have built a couple model kits that had dat ass. But I generally don't like. There's a whole market of plastic model kits of robot ladies, and that's not my particular style. I have felt a little odd building Bulma and number 18, building human ladies. There were moments where when I was building the witch lesbians, that I was like, this is odd. I'm building a young lady right now. That's an odd thing. There have been moments where that has felt weird to me, but not like I don't want to do this anymore weird. But just like, oh, okay. Any Gundams with a big booty? I mean, kind of. Not really. Gundams are, Gundams usually aren't like, they're thick ass mobile suits, right? They're thick mobile suits. But not really, I would say. I don't really would say that there are any that, that have a big booty. I am sure that there is an example of one that does, is just not coming to mind at the moment. You're like, oh, wow, all right. A lot of cake. Yeah, usually they're just big chonkers. Big Zam doesn't have an ass. Big Zam is just big and Zam. So one thing I wanted to talk about today, this is me just moving on from that part of the conversation into another part of the conversation. What did I do today? Oh, well, I realized about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Oh, my passport card is going to expire. It's been 10 years since I got my passport card, and I'm going to need a new one of those because that's my main form of ID. If you were unfamiliar, a passport card looks like a photo ID, like a state ID, and can be used just like any ID to do whatever you need to do. And you cannot use it as a full-on passport to fly to other countries, but you can get across the Canadian and Mexican border via car with a passport card. And it is far cheaper to use the passport card. And then also, you can keep it in your wallet, unlike a passport. So my passport card is in 10 years. Well, it'll expire in August, because August 2014 is when I got my passport card. So I need to renew that. And I looked it up. It doesn't actually cost that much to renew it by mail, which I can do. I can do it by mail, which is great. It does require me to mail it out, so I'm doing it kind of as soon as possible because I want to get it back as soon as possible. I don't have any flights or anything lined up right now. I put this on the wrong way. This is on the wrong side of this. I don't have any flights or anything lined up right now. Because, a reminder, even though it's a passport, this is my ID. So I would need it if I wanted to get on a plane. There's a chance that I might fly in September. And if it takes at most 8 weeks, then I kind of want to get that there so that I don't run into any issues. Also, I'm not traveling overseas, but I've often heard that passport cards and regular passports, that if it's close to expiring, that can be an issue for some people looking at it. Do you have a non-driver's license in your current state with a real ID component? No, I do not, John. I do not have that. This is my ID. My ID is my passport card. I do not have a state identification. So this is my only form of ID. So if I'm mailing it out to get it renewed, I want to make sure that I get it back as soon as I would need it in person. I do have my old one. I do have like a photocopy of it stored locally and not in a way that can be accessed online, which is just there for basically emergency situations, or if I needed to like have a scan of my ID for something, I have the previous ID, which I could use because it won't be invalidated until the new one is ready to go. Does it know you when a thing you need to do requires you to mail a thing or even print and mail it? Yeah, I mean, I don't want to mail things. I don't want to, I'm going to go to the post office with this in an envelope, and I'm going to send it priority mail. So much stuff I do requires me to enter my driver's license number, so that's clean living on your part. Yeah, so I have to enter my passport number instead of that, and then you leave like the state blank. And if you're thinking, Pat, there's no way they let you leave the state blank, you bet your ass they let you leave the state blank because they know what passports are. Okay, I need A16 and A17, which are going to be over here. So let's get 16, 17 out. So I found out $30 to do this. That's nothing, right? They'll send it back to me. It won't cost me anything for them to mail it back. I have to mail it to them. I'm going to send a priority in an envelope with insurance because as you may imagine, that's my ID is in there. My only form of identification is going in the mail. So I'm gonna send it priority with insurance, so it hopefully doesn't fucking get lost. So I gotta do that. Now, one thing has changed in 10 years since I got my last ID. My last passport card, which has a photo ID, of course, when I got that, one, I had hair, because, this is a thing. Maybe you know, maybe you don't know. I shave my head pretty consistently, and it grows back some, and then I shave it again, and we go through a process. When I'm streaming, I have my bandana on because I've shaved my head, and because the lights will reflect off of it, and then also because I sweat, and it just goes to my eyebrows, and this catches the sweat while I'm working. But yeah, I don't got hair here. 10 years ago, I had hair there. And so now I have had a couple people, when they look at a photo, squint at me. They squint at me because they're imagining me with hair and then looking at the photo. So we won't have to worry about that, because the new photo that I took, I went to CVS today to take a new passport photo. It cost me $18, and I got 3 little photos, and I got assurances. Part of that $18 is the assurances that they won't mail it back to me as being a photo they won't accept. So CVS is basically like, hey, or CVS, I should say, not CBS. CVS is like, hey, the photo you took with us, you're good. You're good to say that photo is golden and you don't have to worry about that shit, which is lovely to hear. But I didn't have that 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I went to the Duane Reade across the street from the post office where I got my passport card. I went there and just did it across the street, paid a little bit of money. I don't even think it's $18. Got a photo, brought it back, handed the photo over, did it no problem. So one of the big things that has changed since I got my last round of that is, I don't know about Mexico, but Canada doesn't have the 6 months before expiration restriction. You're right. Canada doesn't have that. That's mostly for regular passports. But what I don't want to do is go to an airport and then have, like, what if I have to suddenly fly and they're just like, well, this is expiring in a month, so no thanks. You have another form of ID, and I have to go, no. Like, I don't want to deal with that. So I'm not worried about it like that. And of course, if I was going to travel overseas outside of Mexico and Canada, I would have to get a regular passport, which I can upgrade and keep the passport card if I wanted to, but that costs more money. I'm not going to worry about that. So anyway, I go and take my photo, and I do the thing, and I stand there, and I take this off, because obviously, and then the woman that is taking my photo goes, okay, and now also your glasses. And I was like, oh, that wasn't like that 10 years ago. My previous passport photo, has my glasses in it. And apparently that has been sometime in the last 10 years that's changed. And why is that changed? Well, of course, they updated to no glasses. Well, the reason they updated to is because some technology that looks at your ID to match it with your face through through a service, doesn't like the glare of glasses when trying to match your face with that face. So if you're handing it to a person, no problem. But if you were handing it to, if you were scanning it in the machine and then a camera is looking at your face and comparing it to the scan they just took of your passport card or passport, it doesn't want to look at glasses. It doesn't like the lens, the flare there, the lens flare, which I was surprised about. It does mean that probably a real person is going to ask me to take my glasses off sometimes, because while I do certainly look like myself in this photo, I can also see the fact that my eyes get a little smaller when my glasses come off, because my eyes reflect, dealing with the light, I could see somebody being like, hey, can you take your glasses off? You know, like I could see that becoming an issue. So I was surprised about that, but I did get a certificate for passport and ID photos. Kodak and CVS are saying like the image size is right, the height weight ratio is right, the correct head size is right, position of head and photograph is right, image brightness is right, image color balance is right, eyes are open, eyes are looking straight ahead, mouth closed and not smiling, eyeglasses glare not present, horizontal, vertical face position. So basically, they took my photo and then they copied it into a program, and the program said, yeah, you're good. And so I'm keeping that in case, for whatever reason, it isn't good, and they try to send it back to me, and they're like, no, you need a different photo to do this. Then I'll be able to say, hey, CVS, take a different photo. You fucked up, and then hopefully they won't charge me $18 again. Fun fact, when you get your driver's license in Arizona, it doesn't expire until you're 65. They just ask you to get a new picture for it every 12 years or so. That's wild, Lord Crashington. That is, hey, I will say this, that is a fun fact. So you might wonder, Pat, why don't you have a state ID? Why do you use this as your thing? And one is because I moved a lot, and so I didn't want to have an address on a state ID that was going to be inaccurate, right? The other reason is because sometime in New York while I was there, and this is embarrassing, but I'll tell you this because I would like you to look at your ID and make sure. My license had expired. My driver's license, which was a Connecticut license, had expired at some point, and I didn't notice. I went to bars. I presented my ID. It wasn't a problem. I used it for things. I signed up for things, or to get paid for jobs. It wasn't a problem. And at some point, it was so expired. My driver's license was so expired that I couldn't renew it. And I couldn't even renew it by mail. I had to go in person to a DMV in Connecticut. And I couldn't transfer it to New York because it had been expired for so long. So I was like, well, I'll just get a New York license from scratch. And then I legitimately cannot get into it, but there was an issue with me getting a New York state ID. I didn't want a driver's license. I was like, let me get a New York state ID. I was denied a New York state ID. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll just get a passport. I'll just get a passport. I'll get a passport card. I'll have the card and it'll work. I couldn't find my passport. It had been a very long time since I had used it. And I couldn't find it. And I asked my parents. The most enticing way to get you to do something is required to go to the DMV in a state you don't live in. And by this point, my folks didn't live in Connecticut either. They were here. I had no reason to go to Connecticut other than this. So I asked, hey, have you seen my passport? No. Nobody knows where my passport is. You know what my mom did have, though? My childhood passport. So I have a license that is not valid. I cannot get a state ID in New York at the time. And I don't have a passport, but I have an expired child's passport. So I went, and of course, I got it. So you know the end of this. But let me, as I panel this, let me tell you the saga. So I start. Where did child Pat Baer travel? I didn't leave the country until I was 24. This is a story for a different time, John. But at age 9, I went to Spain. My great uncle, Uncle John, was stationed at a naval base. He's a Navy chaplain. He was a Navy chaplain. And my mom, my grandmother, and myself went to go visit him and stay with him because he lived right off. He lived in a house near the base, but he wasn't on the base. And so we went to go stay with him. So I needed a passport to go do that. So anyway, I had an expired child's passport. I did not have a valid ID. I had an expired license. So what do you do, Pat? How do you prove who you are? How do you make this happen? So I did my investigation. I did my research to figure this out. Here's all the things that I had to do. I brought my expired child's passport. I brought a yearbook that had my photo and my full name, because it did have my full name. I brought a copy of my birth certificate, my social security card, my expired license from out of state, which they did not need, and I brought a human being who signed an affidavit that I was who I said I was. Oh, I also had a prescription, and I had a utility bill in my name, and I had like a bunch of shit. I had so much stuff with me. But the thing that was most important was the expired passport and the affidavit. A friend of mine and coworker of mine, who I now realize that as we get to 10 years of this, since this happened, I owe her a message. I need to I'm going to send Rachel like a message on Facebook Messenger or something, and just be like, "Hey, thinking of you. All this shows is that you successfully killed and replaced Pat Baer." No, John, I did not do that. That's not true. And so yeah, my coworker and friend Rachel was like, "How long?" Because I had known her for a very long time. I had known her for years and years. We worked together. She was able to say, like, because she worked with me, she was available during the day, so we could go do this. I bought her pizza as a thank you. And I helped her out quite a bit over the years as well, and she helped me out in other ways as well. But yeah, she signed an affidavit, that I was who I said I was, that she vouched for me, that this is who it was, and all that. And she was in good standing and whatever. And she also, it was very funny because I was looking at her for someone to do this, and she said, "Oh, I can do that, Pat." And then I had to say, "Hey, Rachel, I just want to make sure you have a valid New York license or photo ID, right? Like, and a passport and all this other stuff." Because what I didn't want to do was get there and have her be like, "Oh, actually, I don't have ID. Sorry," or some dumb thing. And she was like, "Yeah, Pat, I have those things." I was like, "Okay, I just want to make sure. I didn't want to waste everyone's time, including my time." But yeah, so I had to do all that, and that's 10 years ago in August. So I'm going to go through the process of renewing that. I just happened to look at my ID the other day for unrelated to any of this, and went, "Ooh, that's coming up, huh? Shit." And then it'll be good for a while. And you have otherwise she would need to. Yes, no, someone would have had to vouch for her. And you have questions perhaps like, "Pat, why did you let your license expire? Your Connecticut license. Why didn't you transfer it to New York?" I'm a dumbass, is the best answer I can give you. And then the other question you might ask is like, "Pat, you've been in South Carolina now for several years. You don't want to actually say how many years because it might be depressing," and it is. "How come you didn't get a license?" Well, you may remember that I moved here because of COVID. And I couldn't for many years, for a while anyway. And then once I got my boosters and all of that and got, I certainly could do that. And I haven't yet since. And the only main reason that I haven't gone yet is I'm afraid I would fail the test, so I haven't. I could get a state ID. I probably should get a state ID with my parents' address here in the state of South Carolina. It would not be super hard to do that. I have yet to do that. I am certainly considering it. I am also considering, once I have this ID, upgrading it so that I also have a regular passport. I was ready to do that at one point because it looked like I might go somewhere. I ended up not going anywhere overseas a few years ago. So I was ready to get ready for that and pay the money to expedite getting the actual thing. And I didn't do that. And maybe I should have then, but I didn't. All right, let's put this on here. So yeah, that's my big nonsense story of what I did today and why I had to do it. Yeah, I mean, so yeah. Hey, check your IDs. Make sure that your license isn't expired. Make sure that it's not expiring soon. If you're traveling overseas, make sure that your you can renew your ID, your passport way in advance. But make sure that it's up to date and it won't expire like shortly before your international trip, because you might have people deny you the travel and all that. Um, and yeah, don't be a dumbass like me. I have a standing Google Calendar event 6 months before my birthday to check passports and licenses. Nice, John. Yeah, that's smart. Just make sure it's all together. Like I said, don't be a dumbass like your friend Pat, who let it expire. At any point, I could have transferred my Connecticut driver's license to become a New York driver's license or a New York state ID. I could have done that at any point, and I didn't do it. And it was a big mistake that cost me time and effort and was like kind of a fucking nightmare. And so I will never let this license expire or not the license, this passport ID expire, because it would fuck everything up in my life. Lord Crash says, I think the only time I let my license expire was only a couple weeks when I realized it at work. So I stopped at the BMV, which is Ohio's DMV, because it's a bureau and not a department. So it's the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. That feels like, Lord Crash did, it feels like Ohio shouldn't be allowed to do that. I'm all up for states' rights, but you shouldn't be able to just say, no, we're a bureau, not a department. Like, nah, come on. It should all be a department. Ohio shouldn't be allowed to do a lot of things. All right, okay. Sass. Getting sassy. Ooh, that looks neat. We are almost done with this section of the body, and I'm going to put a cap on there, and then we'll polycap or panel line it once we get this on here. No polycaps in this kit, all just connecting pieces. But we'll get this looking all sharp. John says, my wife is from Ohio, so she has some stories for me. Well, there you go. But yeah, that was a big thing that I did today, was just deal with all of that as I attempt to get this all straightened out. My goal is to just, for 100% totally and easily, my goal is to just get that done, because I don't want to deal with any problems. And then the usual Monday stuff happened as well. But that was the big thing, was getting that taken care of. I will say this. Here's a fun thing. So I went to that CVS and I was like, okay, so I'm going to get, my dad's birthday is in May. Mother's Day is coming up. And so I'm going to get a photo taken at the CVS so that I can get that taken care of. Because I know they have the thing and the machine works there. I've been told. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get cards for Mother's Day and my dad's birthday. And I'm going to get gift cards for both of them, because we do a lot of gift cards around here. And so I'm going to get gift cards for them, and that'll be that. I find the gift cards no problem. I get a gift card for each of them for Mother's Day and for my dad's birthday. No problem. Easy enough. Everything's looking good. I don't do the birthday card yet, because I can do that whenever. I'm going to try to find a Mother's Day card first, get that done, because it's April 29th, and American Mother's Day is in a couple weeks. It's almost May. No Mother's Day cards yet. They're putting them out on Wednesday. This CVS didn't have Mother's Day cards, so I couldn't buy a Mother's Day card. And so I didn't buy my dad's birthday card, because it's right before Mother's Day. Because I was like, well, I'll just get that later, I guess. And I was really surprised by that. So I have to go back to a place, and I am annoyed that I was like, oh, maybe I'll just go to the Walgreens next time. So we'll probably just go to the Walgreens and get that. But yeah, I'm annoyed, because I now have to go back there. Looking it up, says Lord Crashington, They changed the name of the DMV back in 1925, so it's 100th anniversary of and this is me saying this, of them making a weird choice and then not changing it back. But yeah, that means they were a DMV, and at some point they were like, this isn't a department, it's a bureau. Let's just be weird about it. Mjun says, some websites I went to for flowers weren't even talking about Mother's Day offers yet. That's wild. I know 1-800-Flowers has their Mother's Day stuff because I looked at it before I decided I was going to go the gift card route because I just want... my mom has been talking about getting some more summer dresses. So I got her a gift card to Belk because my mom is a white lady. So Belk is a great choice for her. And that way, look, am I going to buy my mom a dress? Fuck no, I'm not buying my mom a dress. My taste and her taste do not align. I know what I think would look great on her. And I could investigate, I could find out sizes and all of that. But instead, I will just get her some monies. And she can put it with other some monies. And then she can buy a thing that she wants and then return it. Because that also happens with my mom a lot. There are a lot of returns to Belk. So she can do all of that and I don't have to do any of that. And everybody wins. And by everybody, I mean my mom wins and I maybe win a little bit. Yes. But yeah, so that I feel like is pretty much taken care of now. I got that going there. All right. Now, why don't you want to work? There you go. Now you're working. Then you need to line up with that part. Like that. All right. This is a neck, I believe, maybe. Some kind of connector. We don't need it for a little while, so we'll just put that aside for now. And we'll deal with that later. That's a later Pat issue to figure out. Metalgarurumon summer dress, indeed. But yeah, I mean, I was definitely annoyed because I was like, oh, I'm gonna get so many errands done today. I'm like, it's it's not it's right around the corner, but I'm like, oh, I can get that done, and I don't want to have to think about it. Oh, this rules. Nope, gonna have to go back another time. It's all right. Really, I'm just stalling for tomorrow. Like, tomorrow's going to come, and, like, the stream tomorrow night's going to be great. I'm not talking about the stream. I'm talking about my afternoon tomorrow. It is a problem of my own making. I have lots of lawn care to do tomorrow, and I don't want to. It needs to happen, but I don't want to do it. And I'm just going to... I have set aside time for me to fall asleep and take a nap tomorrow, because it will just wipe me out completely and totally. And I'm just going to be so damn tired. I need C8 and C8. I just pulled C9 out. This is not... Yeah, this is C9. C8 I already took out. And I have C8. I have C8 here. Oh, okay. It looks like I put on this a C8 by mistake. And I was supposed to put a C7 on. And I have no idea which one of them I put on wrong. But we'll find out. So this is the C8 that I need. I wonder if that's going to be real fucked up or not. It might be real fucked up. I don't know. That's on right. I wonder which one of these is just wrong. Which one of these is not C7? Or if it does matter at all. I mean, it probably does. So I'll take this off. That's going to get in the way. And then I need to take this piece off here. Take that off. So that's off. Now, which of these is wrong? This is the one that needs to go on. And is this the same? These do look pretty much identical. C7. So this might be the C7. And this is the C7. This is the one that's supposed to be on there. So this would go in like that. And then which one? This is right, and then it's either this one or this one. That isn't right. And then that isn't right either. Oh, but we go like this. Okay, so this is the right one. So then this would go like this here. That's one of these two. It's not that one, so then it would be this one? No. Weird. How did I do this? So weird. Like one of these is just wrong, and I don't know. Like I somehow just completely mangled this, and I have no idea how I did that. It's very strange. So it'd be like 2 dots like this. Huh. It probably doesn't matter, but I'm really bothered by it, and it shouldn't be bothered by it, but I am. It probably is fine. It's probably just totally fine. But for whatever reason, I decided it was going to be a big problem. We'll go with this, and we'll find out later if I fuck this up. If it looks wrong, we can always take it apart and try to fix it. I don't know. That happens sometimes. Double check your numbers when you're pulling pieces out, I guess is the good way to say that. All right, put that there. Now we'll enclose it in B2. And we'll just move on. Let's see. Other things we can talk about tonight. A little bit of game news. Jackbox made an announcement today. And I tweeted that I applaud them for waiting until now instead of doing this on April 1st, because it does feel like an April Fool's joke. It is also a hard drive joke as well. The Naughty Pack is coming out. Jackbox Naughty Pack. 3 games in it coming out later this year. It is Jackbox's first M, so mature 17 plus rated game. A bunch of people have been asking for it or joking about it for a really long time. We don't have much information about this. So they're calling it Jackbox Naughty Pack, not Jackbox Party Pack 11. Will there also be Jackbox Party Pack 11? I don't know. I think it would be odd for them to put both these out, but they totally could do that. They certainly could put both these things out and not have and just instead of this being their one release this year. I don't know how much it's going to be. It's only going to be 3, as mentioned. You can finally curse. Yeah, I mean, I think it's the thing of like the difference between Cards Against Humanity and Apples to Apples, right? Cards Against Humanity is for people who want to be dirty and need help getting there. Apples to Apples is a game that's all ages that you can make filthy and might be better because you can make it filthy. So regular Jackbox can just be whatever you want it to be. I don't know if it needs a dirty version, but also I don't know how the other ones sell, and I want them to continue to be a thing that does stuff. So if this is what it takes to keep the lights on and keep Abby Russell employed, please do, and Rich, of course. Please do whatever you gotta do, I guess. I have no idea. But that is coming out. They announced it. And they'll make more announcements. They said they got a little video of it. But yeah, it is interesting because they have, like I said, they have 10 packs out. And the regular packs are 5 games each. So it is interesting that this one is only 3. So that's kind of interesting. And again, not 11. Or maybe it will be. I don't know. But I did say at the beginning of this, I do appreciate, got a lot of love and a lot of respect for them for not putting this out on April 1st and then being like, no, actually, because everybody was talking about it, now we have to do it, as if they weren't always going to do it. They just said like, oh yeah, we're doing this now, and they waited a little while, and I applaud them for that because I think that's the way to go. All right, there's not much booty to this. This is not booty rocking. Metalgarurumon doesn't have much of a booty. Let's see. Let's see. Other news items. Are there other news items that we want to talk about here? Video game stuff. Pop Reach Games India was acquired by Phoenix Games for almost $10 million. This is from GameDeveloper.com. Publisher Phoenix Games purchased Pop Reach Games India from original owner Ionic in a deal valued at $9.8 billion. It's a 100-person studio. Phoenix plans to use the team to enhance its own live ops for free-to-play titles. Phoenix now owns a number of properties and mobile games, including Smurfs Magic Match, Gardens of Time, and Kitchen Scramble. Kitchen Scramble. Oh, that's right. We got to put some... Our last 2 stickers are coming on in just a second. So let's get that going here. We need our sword. Our sword tail. Gotta love a sword tail. 9 and 8. A 9 and 9. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so they're just kind of expanding. Who knows if that's going to lead to anything, but acquisitions are certainly something to talk about now and again. Roblox and Walmart. An unlikely match, unless you count back rooms and weird Walmarts that appear, fake Walmarts appearing in Roblox. Like, if you told me that was a thing, I would say, yeah, that makes sense. But no, an official partnership. Roblox hopes Walmart and other retailers bring their stores to its platform so it can become a one-stop shop. Basically, they want to sell real goods in fictional stores within Roblox. Because of fucking course they want that. Why wouldn't they want that? It makes so much fucking sense that they would want that. Now, should they want that? Will it turn into anything? Who the fuck knows? But of course they want that. Because it would be money. And it's like real money. Roblox players will be able to buy real life items for Walmart within the for the Walmart Discovered server. Will let players visit a digital replica of the store. There, they can try on in-game items and load an e-commerce experience that links to the website. It's not like Slash Pizza. So basically, you can like peruse the store for things, and then if you see something that seems cool, it'll take you to a website and you can just buy it. It's not as cool as it sounds. Fortunately or unfortunately, it is not as cool as originally it sounded like. Because you don't actually do it in Roblox. Let's see. This is apparently a step in their future. And then, so I love this. They're like, They're like, this is going to be great. We're hoping to learn what resonates with Gen Z customers. Gen Z customers. The most when it comes to shopping for physical items. So they're basically like, can we fucking sell shit to these people? Will people buy things through Roblox that is real goods and not just fake ass goods? Like they want to know. They want to know what the deal is. What's the deal with that? Can we get away with this shit? They want to know. Walmart says, I love this shit. Walmart's like, Justin Breton from Walmart stressed that it's very safe and it's only available to Roblox players aged 13 and up. So like they're not even like, this is exciting technology. They're like, hey, it's okay. Everything's gonna be all right. Upon buying an item, the virtual twin will be given to the player on Roblox right away. Oh, so if you buy so that actually might be kind of interesting. If you, through Roblox or sent through Roblox, buy a physical good, you get the virtual item in Roblox. And that might actually be enticing for some people because it's like, hey, I bought that. Hey, I've got the same frying pan I bought at Walmart in person, and now my avatar and my real life, we both have this. That might actually be interesting to some people. So I will say that. That does sound kind of interesting. I'm sure Walmart wants to be closer to Roblox's child labor vibes. Yeah, I mean, they certainly don't hate that. Walmart's not going to hate that shit because they don't give a fuck about anything other than making money. Remember when we were all going to be shopping in the metaverse? Yeah. There's a traditional set of checkout flow where you put your name, your address, and your credit card information. That's all powered by Walmart API that handles all the information super securely. And once you hit checkout, you get a confirmation email from Walmart. So it's just a way to advertise stuff that's on Walmart, but you also get it in the virtual space. And I guess that makes sense and might be enticing. But also, I love that Walmart's just like, hey, we're secure. This isn't, yes, we're in Roblox, but we're not like shady. This is not a shady deal. And it makes sense. Roblox wants to do more of this bullshit. Hopefully, there's a future state where Walmart's powering commerce in Walmart Discover and in other experiences. I think the future's bright, and there's a lot of opportunity to use our learnings to inform a different roadmap for the future. Because that is some fucking buzzword bullshit that you would expect from someone at Walmart in that place. It's a lot of pie in the sky bullshit. Lots of pie in the sky bullshit from these two people that recorded this. It did feel interesting to talk about, but it's also like, fuck off with all this. Let's see. Apparently, another Crab's Treasure sold a bunch of copies. Congratulations to Another Crab's Treasure. They have sold a ton of copies here. Let's see. I believe it's 30,000 units sold across all platforms in the first 24 hours. Very wild. Good for them. Yeah, that's one day, 30,000. That's really wild. Good for them. Wait, I'm sorry. That was old information. My apologies. That was how many they sold in 24 hours. They sold a bunch more in the weekend. Their weekend, which was about, I guess they're saying 4 days, a long weekend, they sold 100,000 units. That's wild. Congratulations. That's a lot more than 30,000 in 24 hours. Apparently, word of mouth hit pretty hard for that game. So good for them. That's cool as hell. Good for that. Yeah. Best-selling game for them. For Aggro Crab. Yeah, Another Crab's Treasure. Did apparently Real good for them. Steam, Switch, Xbox Game Pass, and PS5. So yeah, good for them. That's awesome. That's some good shit. Yeah, it's also it's on Game Pass. It's on Steam. And apparently they're in the top 10 of games sold for Steam for the weekend. That's awesome. Good for them. Let's see if there's any other news. I got to clean up this. We're almost done with the body. I don't know if we're going to finish this tonight, but we're going to get close to finishing it, and then we can move on. Is this how the... Let's see. I got to do the pause. They didn't have me connect the head yet, which is weird. You'd think we would have connected the head earlier, but we didn't. I'm just going to connect the head, because why not? It's weird for it to just be headless, so we'll do that. Hell yeah. What a sleek friend we got here. Metalgarurumon is looking good. It's got the knife tail, looking all sharp and cool. Looking pretty dope. Gotta hit this with an eraser here. Clean this up a little. Yeah, this thing's looking great. Yeah, because all we have left is front legs and back legs, and then wings. Beam wings, which have these clear parts here. These lovely clear parts have to go on as well. So yeah, we might finish this tonight. I don't fucking know. But at the very least, we'll get very close to working on here. And then I'll have to send out a poll for my patrons. My $10 patrons will have to be able to decide. I'll do one last poll. I'll send it out tomorrow. One last poll for the month. I'll have to decide what I work on next and dig into the old backlog and try to figure out what I'm going to build on the next stream. Which, of course, is on Thursday. It's not it's my next build stream. It's not the next stream I'm doing because that's tomorrow. We'll talk about that right now because let's do the old pause for the cause. Talk about ways you can support the channel and what I'm up to there. Let's chat about that here. Go to the intro. Before I get into all of those things, I do want to just quickly promote my stream tomorrow night. Here it is. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, running CPU versus CPU matches in WWE 2K24. I got some new cool matches, lineups, I should say, a bunch of CPUs downloaded for some creator wrestlers. And yeah, you donate $10 to co-fi.com/PatBaer anytime during that. And if you want to see a wrestler both on there or someone I've downloaded or a match type or both, that's tomorrow. And if you don't have the cash, you just want to join and hang out, please do. It would be great for you to do that tomorrow if you wanted to, of course. That would be neat, and I would appreciate it. Now, let's get into just me talking about ways you can support the channel and doing all that stuff. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build With Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave Lego Scythe Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through cash money or using your Prime Gaming token. That, again, just nothing easier than that. We are currently at 37 subscribers. The goal is to get to 50. I shut up at 50. If you want to gift a sub to someone in the community, that would be great. If you want to do some bits and cheer and join the cheer leaderboard, you could do that as well. That's another way to support what I do here. Yeah, and if you want to gift a sub, you could do it anonymously or you can take credit for it. Those are two different ways there. But yeah, I'll try to get through this as quick as I can. Then we'll talk about some manga and some anime. Beyond Twitch, if you want to support me financially, I also have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBaer. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. All patrons of mine just got a Q&A video today. I do a monthly Q&A video. I should have done it earlier. I would do it towards the tail of the month. Should have done it over the weekend. I ended up doing it today. So my apologies to my patrons for my lateness. But that's a good video. So, that's, like I said, that's the only exclusive content I make. So you want to jump on my Patreon. I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBaer. Over on my YouTube channel, subscribing is free, of course, because it's YouTube. If you want to become a member over there, for just $2 a month, you become a member, and then you get my Wednesday videos a day early. So tomorrow, I'm actually just going to check what my ancestors look like. Tomorrow, you will be able to get a lovely video, a Kuma Baer video, before other people get to see it. I have a couple dollars already in my Google AdSense. Working my way up again to $100. It's going to take a long ass time before I get to 100, so I get another payout. But I'm on the way. So consider doing that. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you just want to help me out now and again, you could always send something to my Ko-Fi or directly to my PayPal as like a tip jar. You can do that. And everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and from that fund, I pull out the money to buy model kits. Like this kit. I'm building Metalgarurumon because of the money I had available to pick that out. And then when my Patreon money comes in at the beginning of the month, I will use that money to, of course, buy more model kits. That's the way. That's the deal. That's how it works. If you want to decide what I build next, if you're not happy with me building things that are in my backlog, you want to have a direct say in what I build next, well, you can put your money where your mouth is and buy something from my Amazon wish list. You will get, in exchange, my thanks in a dedicated video about the thing that you have purchased. It'll also jump the queue because that's the least I could do, and it'll be the next thing that I build. I've got inexpensive, little cheap, fun Lego sets. I've got model kits that are inexpensive. I've got model kits that are expensive. I added some new kits pretty recently. I got a new Lego car set that is a 1970 Ferrari that looks gorgeous. I would love to build that. I've got... some more stuff there. I talked about it earlier tonight. I got Black Wargreymon that I will be happy to build. A new Lego set. There's a Lego line I've never built from called Lego Dreams. And it's Lego Dreams with a Z and then 2 lowercase z's. Lego Dreams Mr. Oz's Space Car toy, which is a transforming vehicle playset, including minifigs, Mr. Oz, Albert, and Jaden. And I don't know who any of those characters are, and I've never heard of Lego Dreams, but I would like to build that. It's in my wish list. If you want to see me build that and find out what the fuck all that means, you could buy that. But yeah, I got a bunch of stuff here that I'll be happy to build. Again, obviously optional, but if you want to, you could. If you got a Amazon gift card burning a hole in your pocket and you want to buy something for me to build, you could do that. If you would like to support me financially, but you don't want to go through Amazon, I have a throne wish list. So take a look at that, see if there's something there that appeals to you more and you'd rather pick up instead. And then, of course, you can always go to USA Gundam Store, buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. They send you a gift card code in your email. You send me a DM on Twitter or a whisper on Twitch with that gift card code, and that is how you supply me with that gift card code, and then I will use that gift card code to buy a model kit from USA Gundam Store. The most convoluted way to support me, you could do it. If you wanted to hang out in my Discord and you aren't already, get in my Discord. You're welcome there. It's a fun place. I'd love to have you in the Discord. Jump in on that Discord. A couple video links for you to check out before we get back into shenanigans. I have a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club that came out today. It's hot off the presses. This episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club, please take a look at it. Check it out. This episode is me talking about recommendations for this season. There's some new anime that I really have been enjoying. And so I talked about 4 shows that I thought were pretty cool that came out this season that are out. And I tried to do a variety of not just all isekai and not all romantic comedies and not all shonen. So I tried to mix it up. Hopefully there's at least one that becomes something that you want to check out. And then speaking of recommendations, I of course have Kuma Baer, my weekly recommendation series. weekly anime recommendation. And this episode of Kuma Baer was about Cherry Magic. It was one of my favorite shows from the winter 2024 season, so I wanted to shout that out. Cherry Magic was rad. It's a great watch, and I made a little video about it, and you can watch that there on the YouTube, because it will financially benefit me a little bit if you watch it there. So yeah, see if that's something you want to do. That is all of my plugs. I am going to talk about some manga, and then a manga, and then I'm going to talk about some anime. And I am also going to drink a beverage, because that's also something I need to do. And we're going to dramatically transition to the overhead camera and get back into model kit building. Gotta surf the YouTubes, indeed. We're going to transition back right now. John, redeem the dance button. Thank you for using your channel points for something like the dance button. Here's the dance button as I start clipping out some pieces. Oh yeah. We only have one more stream after tonight with this song, and then I'll have a new song for May. New music in 2 days, indeed. So Thursday's stream, which will be May 2nd, will be my first time playing the new month song. And we might end up doing a song, having a song tomorrow. I don't know if people want me to play that tomorrow, but maybe they will. Lord Crashin also wants me to hit the dance button, and I will right now. Yeah. Hitting that music and then doing it to it. Yeah, maybe people want me to play it tomorrow while I have wrestling going on. I don't know. They might. They might decide, Pat, I would like to hear that funky music while professional wrestlers wrestle against weird stuff. I got some good ass CPUs, my friends. I got some real good weird creator wrestlers that I have downloaded. Some that look amazing and some that are very silly. And I think only one nightmare. There's one nightmare, because it's always nice to have a couple call nightmares. And by nice, I mean a thing I keep fucking doing. I don't know if it's nice, but it is something I keep fucking doing. All right, let's talk about a manga. Let's talk about a manga that I have been reading. I have read two whole novels of this, two graphic novels of it. And I am happy to talk about it now. I have to do this. Hold on. Okay. Let's talk about Because I, the True Saint, Was Banished. That country is done for. And you're saying, Pat, that's too many fucking commas. They should have reworked that title. And you're right. They should have reworked that title. They didn't. They absolutely did not rework that title. Because I, the True Saint maybe should be in like parentheses, was banished. That country is done for. This is another... Hey, it has banished right in the title. This is a banished / kicked. This is our main character is removed from a place. And because they are removed from that place, their life is improving. And the people that did them wrong and did them dirty, their life is getting worse. It's one of those. What's the plot of our thing? Hey, this is not an isekai, as far as I know. We might find out it is, but right now, it does not appear to be one. Our main character, she's just like a fun gal. She's tried really fucking hard, okay? At a young age, she is set to be engaged to the prince. And at some point, she is discovered that she has the potential. She is the saint, and she has magic powers. Oops, I put these on wrong. I should not have put these on when I did. I got too swept up talking about this anime. Or this manga, I should say. She set a barrier around her city, which is important because the country is bordered by woods and very close to the demon realm. So it's important that she has this barrier. Here's the thing. You can't see a barrier. And she heals people, right? She's a healer. She's a really competent healer. She can do it all. She can do a wide heal, and she doesn't really run out of mana. Well, here's the thing. She's been doing it since she was a child. And soldiers realize they don't have to worry about getting hurt because she's always going to be there to heal them. So they kind of like get used to it. And even though it's extraordinary, they kind of feel like, ah. And meanwhile, there's this daughter of a noble who's been hanging out with the prince, who, I should say, the prince is a dumbass. And she's known that for a very long time, that he's just a dumbass. And she starts like, because she can heal, she starts putting her head like, I don't think she's a saintess. I'm definitely the saintess. I think she's taking advantage of you and everybody else. Like, we don't know about this barrier. She's probably lying. And we certainly don't know, like, yeah, she can just heal people, but whatever. I can heal people too, and mine's brighter colored or whatever. So eventually, their engagement gets annulled. She gets banished, and she's like, been ready for this. And as she's leaving, she's just like, okay, well, this country is doomed. She tries to convince the head of the Royal Knights has always been kind to her, and he's the only one, really. And so she says, like, hey, do you want to come with me? I'm going to go to another country. There's a neighboring country. You know, I have heard they're not doing economically that well, but they seem to be good people, and they don't discriminate. I think I'll try my luck over there. And the knight is like, nah, I got to stick around. I can't. I serve the king. The king is like not there. We don't know where the king is for all this, but king ain't there. But he's like, nah, I got to stick around. And of course he would say that. Because he understands, like, we're fucked. She understands, well, then you all are fucked. But she doesn't have a lot of good memories for this place, so she leaves. She immediately meets near the border a lord who turns out to be the prince of the other country. She heals him and his party, protects them. She's just says like, oh, I'm a traveling healer. And they're like, hey, you saved the prince's life. You helped all these people. We want to thank you. What can we do? And she's just like, I don't know. I'd like to move to your country because I'd like to settle down for a little while. She hasn't told them she's a saint, even though she has miraculous healing powers. And they're like, okay, hey, you have healing powers. Would you mind taking a look at our the royal beast? We have a royal pet. Turns out that royal pet is a Fenrir named Ralph, which is a great name for a legendary wolf cat. And the Fenrir is been cursed. The Fenrir got fucking cursed. And we don't know how that happened, but it did. Were they trying to curse the king? We don't know. But the Fenrir got cursed. And, of course, Argo can just heal that curse. And they're like, hey, how can you talk to a legendary beast? Eventually the prince is like, hey, you're the saint, huh? And yes, she is the saint. And he's going to keep her secret. But yeah, her life is going good. She's flirting with this prince. He's great. The people really love her. They're taking care of her. There's a cool, fluffy, big animal that like wants to hang out with her. She's healing people. She puts up a new barrier around the capital. And because the country is smaller than the previous one, it's a lot easier for her to do it. And yeah, things are going great for her. And if you're like, Pat, what about the comeuppance of the shitty prince and the country that's doomed? Well, here's a fun twist. A dragon shows up almost immediately because the barrier is gone. And the dragon's like, hey, what happened to the saintess? Where'd the saint go? Because she wouldn't just leave on her own. And they're like, why? How do you know the saint? What? The fake saint? Is like, oh, you dumbasses. We could telepathically connect and talk to each other. And she's my friend. And I kept threatening to destroy this kingdom for being mean to her. And she kept saying, oh, please don't. It's okay. But now that she's left, I don't give a fuck. I'm leaving. Oh, by the way, she and I were your last line of defense against demons. And it is heavily implied, is not yet set out, but it's heavily implied that the girl who has been the fake saintess that has been manipulating the prince is probably a demon, and the demons are looking to take over that country. The dragon is clearly in love with the saintess, and he also could take a human form, so he could beat up the prince, and that's fun. It's a good time. But basically, he's just like, you dumb bastard. Everything is fucked here. Your country is ruined, and you totally fucked up. So we don't know we don't know what happened with Ralph and why someone cursed Ralph, if there are going to be other problems with that country, if this is the demon's work, and we're going to have to deal with all that. But it feels like, I know they want to take over that country. It feels like if this woman, the fake saintess, is actually a demon, that she kind of fucked up by letting the saintess leave. Kind of a mistake in my opinion, but who knows? What do I know? But yeah, story's good. It is fun. 2 volumes out right now. 3rd volume coming out this year, I believe. I'm gonna keep reading it because I've enjoyed it. Do I think it should get like a anime adaptation? Probably not. The design are cute and it's fun, but like it's not super slice of lifey, and it's also not super actiony. It's like kind of in between the two. So I don't know if it would hit with people, but I've liked it. And that's because the true saint, was banished. That country is done for. And yeah, it's a good little time. I liked it. Now is the part of the show where I'm going to talk to you about anime. I'm finally going to talk about episode 2 of Whisper Me a Love Song, which I was going to talk about, I want to say, on Thursday. I just never got around to talking about it. And then also, I can now talk about episode 3 of Whisper Me a Love Song, because it's been so long since I wanted to talk about it that another episode came out. So now I can do that. So yeah, let's hear episodes 2 and 3 of Whisper Me a Love Song. If you are unfamiliar with this anime, the premise is that there is a girl named Yori. She is a singer. She was, for one time, asked to front a band that her friends are in, SS Girls. And she's not normally doing that, but she did it, and she catches her singing enraptures Himari. And Himari, who's a cute little thing, is like, I fell in love with you it was love at first sight. And then our girl, who is Yori, who has never had been confessed to, never been on a date, never, experienced love or even try to figure that stuff out, is just like, yeah, you know what? Okay, she fell in love with me at first sight. Like, that's interesting. Like, yeah, let's give it a try. Let's try dating and see what happens. Well, turns out by end of episode 1, we find out that that's not what she meant. She didn't mean romantic love. She fell in love. Himari fell in love with Yori's voice. And you'd think like that would be the end of it, or it would be embarrassing, or she would like push her away and feel like hurt about it. But it really just fires up Yori, and she's just like, yeah, we'll see about that. Because also, they fucking hang out. Episode 2 is them going on a goddamn fucking date. So, I don't know. Even if she said like, oh, I'm not in love with you, I misspoke. She is interested in getting to know her. They're on the roof. There's some music playing. Yori is just like, stop saying you love my voice. Because it's embarrassing. Himari is like, are you going to keep playing with SS Girls, which was the band that she sat in with? And Yori does not necessarily think about that. Because they want Yori to write a song for them, like a love song. And she's like, they should ask a professional songwriter to do that and not me. they part ways and they're going to walk home together. And it's like, okay, even if you're not dating, y'all are moving pretty quickly. You're all trying to figure this thing out pretty fast. It feels like y'all are moving, trying to make something happen. It seems like, anyway. Put this like together here. We see Miki again, and they're talking about stuff. Himari's already talking about after-school plans with Yori. Aki, who is the girl from the band, and they talk a little bit about Yori. Let's see. Aki basically is just like, oh, you two should probably exchange contact info, which apparently Yori just hasn't done, and she's very like confused about it, which is weird, but also endearing. That's an endearing thing. So they have a little meet cute thing about that. And they talk about what each other likes and dislikes. And they talk about days off, and then the invitation comes. Hey, this weekend, what if we went to a cat cafe? There's a cat cafe pop-up, and they decide to go. And Yori is kind of second guessing because this girl isn't actually trying to date her, but maybe Yori is interested in dating her. And then Himari is basically like, I'm excited for our date on Sunday, which is like, hey, is that actually a date? So that confuses our girl even more. And then Yori is looking forward to it. She and Aki talk a little bit, and Yori's working on a song. Talks about that. Aki asks Yori to go hang out, but she's like, actually, I have a date tomorrow. And then Aki's just like, wait, holy shit, they're actually dating? What? Because she's very surprised that that's actually turning out, which is fun. And we learn a little bit more about that later. But right now in episode 2, it's mostly just like cute friendship stuff there. They hang out. They get matching phone straps. They hold hands because Himari would get lost otherwise, which is very fucking cute. They meet some cats, and they go and do a bunch of other stuff. They talk about guitars. Apparently, Yori's guitar was a hand-me-down from her father. They kind of want to hang out, and they're just kind of happy being together. And Yori makes a fucking move, y'all. Yori is like, hey, if we actually started dating, that would be awesome. I think it would be great if we started dating each other. Which is like very direct and like putting her feelings out there and vulnerable, and that is cool as hell. And she's like, yeah, all right. And like Himari is like kind of like treats it like a joke. She's like, oh yeah, haha, yeah, it'd be funny if we were dating. And she's like, no, actually, I like you a lot. I do want to go out with you. And Himari thinks about it. Aki and then the other girls are hanging out, talking about love at first sight. And then we kind of get the sense via flashback that, oh wait, has Aki had a crush on Yori this whole time? Oh man, yeah, I think she has. I think she's had a crush on our girl this entire time. That's rough for her. That's a rough thing. But yeah, it seems like she has had a crush on her this whole time, an unrequited crush on our main character. And then Himari's wondering, like, okay, I mean, maybe we should date. I don't know. But she's like pretty sure that what she's feeling is different to what Yori is feeling. And that's how the episode ends. And then we'll go to episode 3. And it's a lot. There's a lot going on here. Really, really strong right off the bat. I love it. I appreciate in episode 2 where a character flat out says their wants and desires. And there will be plenty of room, I'm sure, because this is a romantic comedy. There'll be plenty of room, I'm sure, for misunderstandings, but to start at a place of, I would like to clear this up and make my intentions clear for what we are doing here, and I would like you to seriously consider this. That's awesome. That's just like nice and cool to get that right off the bat. It is. I guess I would use the term refreshing. Also, as always, I am always happy when we have a queer story that is not queer baiting. This is just like flat out that is what it says on the card. Like this is an attempt at a love story. This is a romantic comedy series with two women as the main characters, and that's just dope as shit. That we're just like right off the bat. That's what we're doing here. Episode 3. I gotta find my recap here. We start with where we left off in the last episode. Himari, like, kind of like unsure. She's worried about it. She doesn't know exactly what to do because she's like, I think she's more into me than I'm into her, which is a rough place to be. Put that down. I need B2 and B2. Okay, so a lot of it is like the whole premise of this thing was a girl said, I'm in love with you, and she meant I'm in love with your voice. And she's like, I guess I've been using that word wrong, and people have told me that a lot, that I use that word incorrectly, and that they're people that it sends the wrong message to people. So she's like, well, I've never actually been in love, I don't think. So she doesn't know how to deal with Yori's like real confession. Himari and Miki talk about the confession and what to do about it. They talk a lot in different locations. She's never had romantic feelings before. Miki asks a bunch of questions, trying to like figure some stuff out, trying to make some guesses on some things. Have you, like asking like, do you have any romantic interest? Have you like pictured the two of you together, like hugging and kissing and whatever? Just trying to like gauge that. And she's like, hasn't really. And then Miki's like, Miki, wise beyond her years, is like, there's like a lot of different kinds of dating. Like there's a lot of different ways to date someone. You could try it out a bunch of different ways. It doesn't have to all be the way that you think it is. It's not all or nothing like lovey-dovey. All right, C210. C210. Got it. You could date even like if you're not sure about your romantic feelings, just to spend time with someone and see what happens. Let's see. Yori's been lost in thought because she's kind of been waiting for this response. And her friends have been trying to get her attention to no avail, but she's just kind of like definitely lost. Like she went out there, she put herself out on a limb, and it hasn't immediately worked out. And so she's feeling confused about it. But maybe she'll snap out of it. Via text, Himari says she needs more time to think about everything. Ooh. Oh yeah, I just put it on. Okay. She just needs more time. But she'll visit her on the rooftop when she has an answer. Then Yori runs into Aki on the way home from school. Yori and Aki talk. Aki is kind of cautiously responding, like trying to be a good friend, but clearly, this is a bit of a love triangle here on her end. And then Aki just tries to change the subject, take Yori's mind off of it. They go and get something to drink and just kind of hang out. We see Himari in her room. And she is afraid of the possible negative results to them dating. So she is filled with fear. Her parents are on the phone, and Himari asks her mom, like, "Hey, how did you and Dad start dating?" And apparently, she initially turned him down because she wasn't interested in him romantically. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. At first, she was just like, "Yeah, I didn't see him in that way," which is about the situation we find ourselves in here. And just like Kimmery, she was like, I was afraid that if we got into a romantic relationship, it would hurt our friendship. It would turn out bad, which is kind of weird. But then she was like, they went to a festival, and she realized, actually, I do really care about him more than just friends. And that's like, like, obviously nice supportive mom moment. This is fun. Himari and Yori decide to meet up. And Himari is just like, I don't like love you like that way. But and Yori's like, yeah, I get it. And she's like, but I do want to spend more time with you. And I don't want to hurt your feelings. And that would make me feel terrible if I like pretended, just because you want us to date, that I went along with it. So us being a couple, like, I'm just really afraid. It's just like, real emotions. This anime's got some real emotions that characters are going through and trying to figure out how best to deal with, which is nice. Nice bit of business we got going on here. Let's see. We're going to work on the back paws right now. C's and B's. We'll get the back paws together here. Let's see. Scroll through my notes. Yori is just like, hey, I was also terrified of confessing to you. It really scared me what you might say, but okay. Like, I want to spend more time with you too. We'll see what happens. And they're going to keep hanging out. And then also Yori's is like, by the way, I am going to make you fall in love with me. And then she's wondering, like, okay, how can I make that happen? How do I actually, now that I've said that a couple times, how do I actually make that into reality? The episode ends with Mari from the band, the SS Girls, being like, hey, turns out our former lead singer joined another band, so we definitely need someone new. We need a new vocalist. And it's ending with Yori asking to officially join the band. Which I guess is, if I could speculate, Yori thinks the way to win over her girl is to do the thing that attracted her, non-romantically, but attracted her in the first place, which was singing in front of a band. Because there's a whole thing, I don't know if I said this, there's a whole thing where, in episode 2, where she talks about how it's a different vibe when you are singing in a band versus when you are just like playing an acoustic guitar by yourself. And the energy of a live band is part of what drew her. So it makes sense that so basically, like, even if she doesn't really want to be the lead singer of this band, she might be doing it for her girlfriend, which isn't the best look, but also I understand it. Sometimes people think big gestures are what you need to do. Overall, great third episode. I really like this show. I have been enjoying it so much. If you aren't watching it, look, is this the reason to get High Dive? No. don't get High Dive just for this show. But if you have High Dive, I would say this is the show to watch from there. And then you can watch Yurusei Yatsura, or you can watch all of Non Biori, including the movie, which is on High Dive. So you can just go back and watch one of the best slice of lifes ever made, Non Biori, while you're there. While you're there vibing and watching this cool new show, you can watch some other cool shit. Sorry. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you. What are you watching? What are you playing right now? I have to blow my nose very badly, so I'm going to do that in just a second here. So my apologies for that. We'll go over here. Let me actually mute this and do. I muted the audio, so you didn't hear that. John says, or all of Legend of Galactic Heroes on High Dive. Yes, you could also watch all of that if you wanted to. But now it's the part of the stream where I want to hear from you. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you into? What movies are you checking out? You listen to any new music that you think whips ass? Any podcasts that you're digging? I have been playing Helldivers 2. The Helldivers 2 crew has been playing more Helldivers, and that's been very fun. Where I am one of the better players in my crew, which is not saying a lot, but is true. And that has been fun to play. We played a bunch yesterday. I watched some pro wrestling yesterday, which was very fun. If you missed out because of the NBA basketball, Rampage. Just try to track down Rampage because the Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta street fight was fucking brutal. And those boys have loved each other for a decade or more. And it's very clear how much they love each other because that match was goddamn brutal and vicious. And it was really good. It was a really good match. Fight, really. But yeah, Rampage was pretty good. Collision was decent. And then I watched a Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling show that was very fun. And that was a lot of my Sunday. I was trying to get caught up on some stuff because Saturday, because of dinner plans, my Saturday kind of got screwed up trying to get some things done. But I did do that, and my D&D crew is meeting again. We are going to be meeting Wednesday afternoon. I'm very excited to be playing D&D again with the proper crew. We have been people have been away or are working on projects and not available, and so we finally have time to get everybody together, which I'm very excited about because I really love playing D&D with those folks, and it's been a hot minute. I haven't had time to jump in with the collective that I'm a part of, but I am looking forward to doing more stuff with them. That should be hopefully fun to get back into that. And just my goal is to jump in on a game that I don't run because I don't mind GMing, especially if it's like Fiasco or something, but it is weird to just do those one-offs. Like I don't have, like at this point I've run out of my, like, this will take an hour or 2 hours of all of us playing together. Like I can probably improvise some more ideas if necessary, but I feel like I've done a lot of that and I'm kind of more interested in just playing, although there's always a need for GMs for that. So I am sure that in the future I will get roped in again and I will say yes very easily to doing that. I am quite certain that I will get roped in to running some more games in the collective because it's really fun to do. Hearthstone, my Dragon Priest deck is losing more. I am once again, unfortunately. Sorry, let me check this right here. What? Ew. Sorry, everybody. I couldn't believe this email that I just got. Somebody has my wrong email because it's addressed to Robert. But I got asked to join a next door community and I don't even know where this is from. But obviously, I'm not going to fucking join Nextdoor. Also, I'm not Robert. So we're just going to hit unsubscribe for that. Because I'm not joining fucking Nextdoor. But also, where do they think I am? Oh, they think I'm in California. Yeah, obviously I'm not in Thermalto, California. Thermalto wants me, or Thermalito. Thermalito or Thermalto wants me to join. No thanks. I'm not a narc. So I will not be joining that. Sorry, that just fucking threw me the fuck off. Anyway, what was I talking about? I don't remember. Oh, Hearthstone. I got a Hearthstone deck that you saw me play last week, and I was winning a lot of games with. It's losing games because instead of 5 dragons, I now have to play 8 dragons. And the deck is still very consistent about getting it online. It just takes longer. And that's enough time for the slower decks to do whatever they need to do to win. And the quick decks to whittle my health down because I have to continuously do things to try to heal myself while I'm also playing dragons and I'm also drawing dragons and drawing my combo and all of that. It just isn't, unfortunately, isn't working out as much as I would like it to work out. So I do need to figure out a new main deck, but I am still enjoying the deck. It's just, it's not as consistent as it was. It was really fucking consistent and really strong, and it is not as strong as it used to be. Now I'm going to read what y'all have been writing. Lord Crashton is playing more Tales of Kenzura Zhao, which is still rad. Yeah. I mean, beyond the fact that it's that's a video game name. Tales of Kenzura Zhao is such a fucking capital V, capital G video game name. I'm glad you're also enjoying it and you're having a good time playing the game because you want to have a good time with that too. John says only new thing is friends are setting up an Archipelago server and I'm gonna play my first randomized Final Fantasy 1 on it. Nice, that sounds fun. Yeah. Outside of Pokemon, I have never done a randomizer, and I have always thought about, like, well, maybe there will be another game that I would want to try to do a randomizer run of beyond Pokemon. But I think I'm probably just stick with Pokemon. I don't know. Ghostval tried out the Hades 2 beta test, or playtest, I should say. Pretty much finished up my 100% of now for Elden Ring. Played a good amount of Helldivers 2. Also, much more IDW Transformers comics, and even karaoke with coworkers. Nice, Ghost Val. God, I haven't done karaoke in a real long time. I haven't done a karaoke stream in a long time. I have considered doing a karaoke stream again. I almost did one while my folks were out, but didn't end up doing it. The last time I did that was I sang like last year's first subathon. I think one of the rewards was karaoke songs. So I don't know. Maybe I would do that again. But wait, how did this end up? How did I put this? What happened? Did I grab the wrong pieces? I did. I was looking in the wrong spot. I did the lower. I did a different leg than I wanted to do. Whatever. That doesn't matter. It's all the same pieces. It's just I was surprised. I looked ahead and did the wrong leg. But whatever. Let's see. Lashberg says watched all of this week's AEW Sunday. That Claudio versus Swerve match ruled. Yeah, I watched Rampage and then I watched Collision. There's some good matches. The main event of Rampage I thought was really great. It is incredibly weird and cool to see Danny Garcia tag with Shibata. That is just a weird thing, but it was very neat to see. And that was funny. Also, him dressing like Shibata was a neat touch. I like that, but still doing his dance. Yeah, I thought that was cool. And Shibata's got to get a big win before he loses to fucking Chris Jericho on Wednesday in a move that I know is going to happen, but that doesn't make me feel better about it just because I know it's coming. But I am preparing my heart for the inevitable learning tree fucking Chris Jericho defeating of Shibata. Ugh. Terrible. Maybe it'll lead to the return of Hook, but I think Hook is going to be gone longer. Going back to Hades 2, Ghost Valve, just wanted to say real quick about Hades 2 that I have not done the playtest. I haven't signed up for any of that. I am probably just waiting for Hades 2 to come out. Sometimes I want to try early access stuff. Sometimes I don't want to try early access stuff. I think I am fine with just watching some people play some stuff and then playing it when it's all out and I can really dive into Hades 2. I'm glad they're making Hades 2. I think it rules and it's fucking neat and cool. But yeah, right now I'm like, I'm all right. I can wait. So we have one leg left to build here, and we have the beam wings to build, including the effects parts. And this kit does fit. It does have a hole here to put this on a stand, an action base, but you can just have it like there. These do move around a little bit here. Good face. Oh, big old mouth. You can open up that mouth or close it up. This is a neat kit. And then the knife. This part of the tail turns around, but doesn't really move much. And then the knife blade opens or bends around a little bit, which is fun. And yeah, then we got one paw left and we need a leg. So we're going to finish this up on Thursday stream. And then there will be a poll tomorrow for my $10 patrons about what they'd like to see me build on Thursday. I got some options for my backlog. I don't have anything. Maybe I do have. I don't have anything new from the last time, but I have a bunch of good stuff in there. So I will include that. And what's going to happen now? You know, it's time to raid, because that is what we do at the end of every stream. Is we always go on a raid. We're going to find somebody doing cool stuff out there that we want to go spend some time with, and we're going to go support them by hanging out. And who are we going to raid? I don't know. We're going to figure that out right now. It's Monday. We always end with a raid. So we're probably going to raid Mary Kish because it's Mary Monday. But if Mary's not streaming, then we'll raid somebody else. But okay, Mary is streaming. Mary is playing another Crab's Treasure, which makes a lot of sense for Mary to play that. So I'm excited to watch Mary play this crab and hang out. So we're going to do that. We're going to go raid Mary Kish. You knew we were going to if we could. Mary rules. Her community is so excellent. So we'll go hang out with her. Feel free to come along on this raid. I would love it if you could. We're small but mighty tonight, and it'll be nice to send everybody over to Mary's stream. And tomorrow, one more time as we're getting this raid together. Tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, CPU for CP matches in WWE 2K24, donations to help for dental work. Consider coming to that. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. Have a great night. We're going to go on this raid. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Good.